I was looking through my finished sketchbooks the other day and I realised that I never made a proper flip through of this sketchbook, even though it's one of the ones I'm more proud of. Sorry if this sounds horrible, I'm filming it with my phone and I don't own like a microphone or anything because I really just do this for fun, so sorry if it sounds awful. If anyone's curious, this sticker is from Cosmo Kitty. She's one of my favourite artists. I highly recommend following her. I will have to skip a few pages at the beginning because it's just pages of writing, so it's not very interesting to look at. There might not be that much interesting to look at, depending, I guess, but yeah. Okay, so here's the first page. As you can see, it took me 2 years to finish this sketchbook. Admittedly, I used multiple sketchbooks in one go, but it took me 2 years, which is a bit of a long time. First page is just a Spider-Man drawing. I never actually know how I want to start a sketchbook, and it's like one of the worst parts of having a sketchbook is starting it. So I do kind of often start with just sort of like a doodle more than an actual sketch. It sort of takes pressure off. Plus Spider-Man is one of my favourite things to draw, so it's always a good way to start. So this is the next page. So this is May. This one here is without a reference, and then the rest are drawn with references. I feel like I've improved a lot when it comes to portrait drawings, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I can actually show you one I did recently that I'm quite proud of. Let me just find it. So this one I did recently. Ignore this page because it's nothing interesting, but that's the portrait I did the other day, and then portraits I did 2 years ago, so I feel like I have improved a decent amount. I'm not very good without a reference still, but I'm getting there. I found these really old, I don't know if anyone else had them, these really old pens that you like twist together, and then the colour from one pen goes onto the other and it like fades between the two colours. I found those from when I was little and I just really wanted to draw with them, so that's what this page is. It's not a pretty page, I wouldn't say, but you know, it was a fun page, well, a couple of pages. These 2 pages are just some watercolour studies I did on watercolour paper. They were done from Studio Ghibli references, but they don't really look anything like Studio Ghibli reference like art. They're nice though. I don't have anything against them. This one's watercolour and fine liners, and then just, you know, a pencil sketch. This is a Komodo dragon, and I tried to draw a gecko, but it doesn't really look like a gecko. I haven't tried drawing one since then, maybe I should do. Under here is a graphite drawing of a model on Instagram, and I actually turned this into a digital painting as well. It's okay, I think I could do better, to be honest. Not this one, but the digital version, I think I can do better. But it has to have a bit of tissue paper over it because it just transfers. You can see some of it there, but it transfers so much graphite, it's really bad. That's just a little koi carp I did, like randomly, with a scrap of piece of paper I found. I really like the water texture I done on this, but I've not been able to do it again since, and I don't know how I did it, I can't remember, it was ages ago. And then I also did some lily pads on the same day as the koi carp. Again, like I did this really cool water stuff, and I don't know how I did it. I wish I could remember, but I have no idea. This is when I started to try and draw hands a bit more properly, I guess. I had drawn hands before this, but like this is probably when I started trying a bit harder. Oh, I remember this. There was this picture of a cat on Pinterest that looked kind of like an alien, so I had to draw it. I also just love cats. I do have 2 of them. And then a poppy that was done with alcohol markers. This sketchbook It kind of took the alcohol markers okay, but it did bleed through a lot on the other side, which is why there's something stuck in, because it transferred really badly. This is an acrylic painting. I don't remember which way up it goes. Of the sky, I think it's supposed to be that way, but I can't really fully remember. It's not great. The colours look really muddy. I think I could probably do better now because I've practiced more with acrylics. But it's not terrible. I don't know, it's fine. And yes, that's a sketch of Armin Arlet from Attack on Titan. He's my favourite character. I haven't actually drawn him for ages, so maybe I should do that again. And then another portrait study. This reference image I was on Pinterest. It had really harsh lighting and shadows. I thought it was really cool. That's what I was trying to do. But he kind of looks a bit like his face looks lumpy. I think it's probably the way I shaded. It's not too bad though. I think I got new pens when I did this one, and that was a ballet dancer. I think I was supposed to finish it and I just never did, but never mind. Okay, so under there is like a little thumbnail for an acrylic painting I did, and all the swatches, because why not use your sketchbook for it. And an eye that I did using a dip pen. That was actually really fun, and it has like shimmery gold ink on the iris. I think it's really pretty. And then a cute little fox. I do love foxes, hence the username. But this was fun because I was done with colour pencils, and I didn't used to use colour pencils very often, but I have found myself like using them a bit more often. Just doing some little cat studies. Portrait, I actually really like this one, that's why it's got a background behind it, and I still like it. I think it looks fun and stylized. I don't know how I did it, so I probably haven't recreated it exactly again, but never mind. And at work we had these little iron mice that would like fill your garden, and one of them had like a straight tail, like completely straight, and that's what this is. I always thought it was really cool. Just a little seaside town. I sort of was inspired by like a storybook-esque illustration I've seen, but I don't feel like I've done it as well. Maybe if it was watercolours it might look nicer, but it's not too bad. It was fun. I did it while I was at work bored, so it can't be that bad. There's this one, which I do love. I love this drawing. It took ages to do because it's fine liners and biros. It's like none of them like have really broad nibs. The broadest nib is what I used on this hair. So it took forever, but I do really like it, and I actually put this into Procreate and did some like nicer shading on it using Procreate. I made it into a print on my Etsy shop. There's a link to it if you want to check it out, but don't feel like you have to. But that was a really fun drawing. I really enjoyed doing that. It did take forever though. This one is as simple as it is. I do really like this drawing. I feel like I could probably do it a bit better though. Like I think his anatomy is a bit whack, but not too terrible, so I won't be too harsh on it. It's actually also a print if anyone was interested, but I think I did make it like a bit nicer using Procreate, I won't lie. But I do love like the really minimal sort of style of pen sketches. It's really nice. This is like, it's okay. I think I can probably do better, but considering I use really limited random pens that I found, not too shabby. And I don't really draw like sceneries very often. I'm not very confident in it, and especially with perspective I struggle so much, so it's not too terrible. Two sketches that I don't think I ever finished. I do like this one more than that one. This one looks really confusing, especially like down here. I don't draw full body people very often, so I should probably work on that a bit. This is the 13th of November 2020. Rest in peace, Unisalis. But I drew this while the live stream was going on because I was bored. Well, I wasn't bored, but it was very early in the morning here, so. And I had two kittens running around at the time. Tricky Wagon's business card because it looks really cool. I really love Tricky Wagon. 10 out of 10 recommend. That's just a sticker I found I like this style. Actually, we'd love to try and recreate it, but I don't know how to. I don't know if it's watercolours or acrylics. I feel like it's watercolours, but I might be wrong. And then just 2 other little skulls. I really like this skull actually. I kind of want to redraw it, but do it digitally so I can do some, like this is supposed to glow, so I could try and do that a bit better. Some more portrait studies. This one's not great. Something's off with it, so is this one, they're just not great. But this isn't too bad. I don't mind that. It's actually of a YouTuber, I can't remember his name. I'll look it up and put his YouTube name on screen and link him below, because he's actually really cool. He does, I think, art commentary videos, I think it is. Just drew him while watching his videos. I actually really like this one more than that one, even though I shaded this one more. Perhaps I should have finished that one. They're pretty good. That was just, it's not great. The anatomies are strange, and I think the hands look terrible. But it is a small drawing, so it's whatever. I never actually did these at school. When I was at school, I did art and design. So I did very little like art techniques. It was more about being able to work towards a brief and stuff like that. And designing something, obviously. So I didn't do much like light studies and perspective and stuff like that. So I'm trying to teach it to myself now. So that's what that is. And this was drawing one of Siren's, is that how you say her name? Laura. Live streams where she does those ones where you like draw along with her. So I was drawing along with her. This one I like, this one not so much. That hand is so wrong. Broken thumb definitely, but never mind. This was after I watched one of Proko's videos talking about the Loomis head method, which I still use, to be honest. I actually find it really useful. It has probably improved my drawing, my portrait drawings quite a lot, to be honest. These could still be better, but they're not terrible. They're definitely an improvement from the beginning of this sketchbook, so I don't mind too much. And I also got Posca pens, if you can tell. That's a quick doodle of Dawoon from day 6. I actually went and saw day 6 in concert during January 2020 when I started the sketchbook. I actually started the sketchbook on the way up to seeing them, so that was, you know, that was fun. And then another portrait. I think it's the proportions on her face, but there's something wrong with her face, but it's not too bad. It's not terrible. I actually really like this sketch, even with this like really strange looking cat. I like his face, but he does look a bit odd. But I like this. Like I said, I don't draw full body people very often, so I think I did okay with that. Her hand is definitely too small, but that's fine. And I really like this cat. I don't know what it is, but I just really like it. And I think the gold with all the black and white looks really nice. Some more. This was Beth from The Queen's Gambit. It doesn't look much like her, but it's not terrible. I feel like my voice is squeaking a lot, I'm sorry. This isn't too bad, actually. I'm not gonna hammer myself too much, it's not too bad. Neither is this. It could be better, but it's not terrible. This was just like a little drawing, so you know what? They're not that bad. We'll let ourselves off for a bit. Some more hands. I like the snake. I like the snake more than the hand, but the hand's not too bad. I was going through a period of just drawing with pen and not using any pencil for a while. And that's what these pages are. And some more. You know what, this isn't too bad either. She looks a bit stiff, but it's not terrible. And I like this one more than that one, but that one's okay. Some more cats. Obviously the cats are my favourite part of this spread, that's why there's a big blue square behind them. That's not terrible, and that could be better, but it's not terrible. We're not going to be too harsh on ourselves. And some more. This is when I got some highlighters as well, so I was using those to do the big blocks of colour behind my favourite ones. Her head is definitely too long. Looking at it now, her head is definitely too long. I like this one, and I do like this one. They're not too bad. Shading with fine liner pens can be really rough sometimes. It doesn't look doesn't always look great, and I don't know if it's just I need a better technique or it's just where the pen was sort of old and dying. I like this one though, this one's cool. The shading looks not too bad on it. These are some highlighter birds that I actually recorded myself drawing. What if you are gonna do like highlighters and stuff, I would make sure that whatever black pen or like whatever liner you're gonna use doesn't smudge with highlighter, because my ones definitely did. They smudged quite badly. Another portrait study and two little doodles. This one transfers so much graphite, it's insane. She looks like she's got a broken neck or something, that's terrible. This was actually my attempt at designing a character. I wanted her to look really sweet and like friendly, so she's got like a Peter Pan collar and button up, because I think those look really cute, sort of like a little bit like a child. And I named her Amai, which is the Japanese word for sweet. I've never drawn her again, to be honest. I kind of forgot about her, but maybe I should return to that idea. I think she looks okay. Considering these have no references, like either of these pages, not terrible, not terrible. This one isn't the worst thing I've ever drawn, but it's not great. I think that it could be improved a lot. And even though I didn't line or shade this cat, it's my favourite one because it looks like it's really stretchy. I can feel that you can see that it's stretching, which is something I have a hard time showing in my drawings. Another few portrait studies. This one's actually not too bad, but it's hard to see with the alcohol marker that's bled through. So on these pages, I got my sister and my mum to just draw random shapes with some of my alcohol markers, because I was stuck on what to draw. And you know, like when you do the paint blob and then you turn it into something, that's kind of what I did. I just used alcohol markers. There's also a lot of scribbling of things that I was trying to come up with something to make with some clay. Came out with a lot of ideas. Not many of them made. I really like this one. I feel like he could be a fun character if I put in some time to draw him. I did draw him again over here though. There's some more portrait studies and a drawing of a witch. I remember this being a lot worse than it actually is. Like whenever I thought back on it, I thought that was terrible, but to be honest, it's not that bad. Her hand isn't right. I really need to practice hands more, but you know, it could be worse. It definitely could be worse. I really, really like this one. I probably felt the most proud of this one when I did it. It's really nice. I love the shading on it, and I got some different hardness of graphite pencils. I can't remember what hardness it is, or softness, whatever you want to call it, but I really like this drawing. I've not managed to draw like that much since. I think I have done it again, but just not very often, so maybe I should try a bit more. And then a female portrait doing the same sort of techniques. So these two are probably one of my best, I would say, for portrait. I'm not great, I'll be honest. Not terrible. But this one in particular is my favourite. I like the really sharp lines on his face and stuff. It looks really cool. Those were some thumbnails or like ideas, I guess, for a digital painting that I was going to do. And then I think I forgot about it, to be completely honest. You can see that I wrote down here, do I do it on Procreate or do I do it on Clip Studio Paint? And then I completely forgot about it, and I didn't try Clip Studio Paint until recently, even though I've had it for a while, because I bought it on sale, so I wasn't going to pay full price for it, and I'm not paying for the subscription, so. More Spider-Man. I love this one. I think it's really cool. I like the colours in it. I actually layered up, you can probably see it at the edge here, like orange to make the red really vibrant. I feel like the shadow colour could be better. It kind of looks a bit gross, but it's not the worst I've done. It's not too bad, yeah. I actually like this drawing. I feel like her forehead's too big, but I actually really like this drawing. This I was designing some stickers and stuff. Because I had doodled this watermelon somewhere. I can't remember where I doodled it. So I wanted to make stickers to go with them, like some fruit friends, but I just made lots of watermelon stickers, like a little pack of them. This is just some anatomy studying, making an attempt to get better at it. I'm not going to say I've improved much, but at least we're trying. Did some little doodles of some cosmos and some little wildflowers. Actually, these are the fake wildflowers that we sell at work. Still, they were fun to draw. I love drawing flowers, it's sort of my go-to if I'm struggling. Someone at work told me to watch Luca, and then I did watch it and I loved it, and I liked Luca's character design, so I had to try and draw him. It could be better. That's something I should study maybe a bit more. Try to draw a more realistic moth, and it's okay. I think the most realistic thing is that it leaves marks everywhere. Like moths leave little dust everywhere, don't they? I got some new Posca pens. Got a bright yellow one and a bright blue one, so I had to use them obviously. I do actually like this drawing. I think this is alright. Maybe I could revisit this and maybe improve it a little bit, because the sunflowers they're not as vibrant as I would like them to be, and I think it's where the graphite sort of smudged into them, so that's maybe an idea to revisit. I got some Morpho books, and this is when I started actually using them and studying them. I actually like this sort of shape of the skull. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's so smooth, but it looks really cool. But I recommend those books, they're really good. This is the little house that I also then ended up redrawing and painting. This one isn't great. I tried to do it more like fantasy, I guess. I do like this one. I think this is cute. But the original drawing is probably the best. And then I spent ages drawing this great horned owl while I was at work, like over a few days at work, just doing lots of little strokes to draw this. It took forever, but it looks really nice. Just some fruit. You know how sometimes you just like get the idea to draw like an apple or something and then you have to draw loads of fruit? That's basically what happened to it. I wanted to draw some lemons and then it spiraled out of control. But I actually really like this page. I don't know what it is about the page. I don't know if it's like because it's so clean looking or if it's the line work, but I love this spray. I don't remember what these birds are called, but they're black and white in real life. I just thought they looked cool, so I wanted to draw them. That's Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. I won't say this, I haven't watched the anime, but I've been reading the manga, so I will watch it eventually, but he has a nice character design. Some cats. This cat looks cute. You might not be able to see it, but there is like the start of some more cats drawn here and I just never did it. Female versus male skulls. I think that's according to the Morpho books, but I can't fully remember. And then a little raccoon done with biro. I like this spread too. I think it is because they look so clean. I really like this owl, even though I had to redo its head. I do like the owl, it looks really cool. And this is the first time I ever drew a chicken. And it turns out they're harder to draw than I thought they would be. But I did draw one recently for Peachtober. Some sea pancakes, otherwise known as manta ray, and then some more from the Morpho book. As is this, or Morpho book. And so is this. But I do really recommend it. They're really good books. Some more ideas for digital paintings that I want to do, with the idea of like sunken things, so like towns and buildings and stuff like built into cliffs and surrounded by plants and stuff. Is actually inspired by my Animal Crossing island. But yeah, I like this one, and I like that he's on a page on his own. I think that's cool. He could be better, but he's not. He's still cool. Some more anatomy studies. I love this sketch. I think think it looks really cool. I actually would like to scan this in and do a digital painting with it. I feel like it would match the sketch I showed you earlier from my other sketchbook, the blue pen sketch. But yeah, I think that's really cool. I tried to draw a margay, which is a type of wildcat that I really love. They're adorable. But it does not look anything like this. This is not what margays look like. I got, for my birthday that year, I got some Posca pens and I was testing them out. They're really nice colours. This does not do them justice. This does not do them justice at all. They're really pretty. These are oil pastel that I was trying to figure out the colours of. And then a little sketch, don't smoke, smoking's disgusting. And then some bees. We do Secret Santas at work, and I got given stuff with like all these little cats on, which was adorable. So I tried to draw the cats and then some more cats, because what else would I do? This was from a Christmas cracker. I thought it was really pretty. I do love foxes, so. And this sketch I actually really like. I did, like, you can see the ghosting of another drawing behind it, but this is alcohol marker on her face to try and do the lighting on it. I thought it looked really cool. But to be fair, he looks cooler, so not mad about it. Just some little skull doodles. Some more flowers. They're like my stress relief drawing, I think. Just drawing flowers. And that's the end of that. I don't think there's anything in the back here really worth showing you. But I'll have a quick look. No, doesn't look like it. Just some like cardboard and swatches and tissue paper that I keep in the back here. I made this pocket on the back of the sketchbook. I think all sketchbooks should come with pockets, to be honest. But that is the end of my sketchbook. It took me 2 years to do this. I hope you enjoyed watching me go through my sketchbook, and I hope you liked my art at least a little bit. Like I said, there's a couple of things that I drew in here that I did turn into prints. So if you are interested at all, I do have a link to my Etsy below, but please don't feel like you need to, because honestly there's not much on there at the moment. Thank you for sitting through my little rambling. I'm really sorry if this sounds awful, and I'm so sorry you had to listen to my voice, because I know I have a bit of an odd one. But thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll hopefully see you all soon. But yeah, thank you very much.